I just feel really bad, and I just wanted to tell you that if you need somebody to talk to, that we should sit down, because I just feel really bad. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm fine now.
10 years. So it's like, it does make it really easy. Like, we just all know each other and each other.
For the day I left. The day I left, I was like...
You'd flown a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory, with what I do. Sometimes we'd fly twice a day.
Best to make it happen. So when I was 9 years old, the show The Real World came out. I remember me and my best friend Allison were sitting, and it
Nah, I mean, I sit with records up until the time they're mixed. So it's not like I get everything mixed and then I sit on it another 6 months trying. Right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not like that. But nah, man, I do it. I work best juggling a couple different albums. You know? Like, yeah, I just recorded like an album. With the guys from Mars Volta, with Cedric and Omar. So while I'm doing that, I'm working on my solo album, I'm working on Transplant's album.
Damn.
How much better I feel when I'm not on it as much. And I do think it's important, you know, for work, or, you know, there's moments when I think it makes sense, but I try to almost give myself limits, like, okay.
So we are glamming for the Met Ball. This is our first Met. And I feel amazing. I think we're just excited to go have a fun night together.
It feels amazing because I don't know anything at all.
Have you ever wondered what really happens when a picture-perfect celebrity romance starts to crack? Behind the staged Instagram photos and red carpet smiles, some of Hollywood's most glamorous couples are holding together by a thread. And few relationships show that better than Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. What began as a whirlwind fairy tale quickly turned into a storm of unexpected twists. From a late-night Vegas wedding that never became official, to rumors that cut dangerously close to home, and even family drama that no amount of luxury could hide. Their story isn't just about love under the spotlight. It's about pressure, secrets, and the question of how much two people can endure when the world is watching every move. So let's pull back the curtain and step inside the drama of the couple everyone thought had it all. It all began with a trip to the city of excess, Las Vegas. For most couples, a spur-of-the-moment wedding, there is just a wild story to tell later. For Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, it was supposed to be the ultimate symbol of their live-in-the-moment romance. In the early hours of the morning, they walked into a neon-lit chapel, hand in hand, ready to tie the knot Elvis style. Cameras caught their laughter, the excitement, the look of two people convinced nothing could stop them. But then came the twist that turned their fairy tale night into a viral headline. The marriage license office was closed. They tried at 2 a.m., but the paperwork couldn't be filed until the next morning, which meant, legally, there was no wedding. The moment instantly split public opinion. Some fans saw it as a cute, quirky hiccup, proof that even billion-dollar celebrities stumbled just like anyone else. Others weren't so forgiving. Critics questioned whether this was a red flag, a relationship built on impulsive choices rather than solid foundations. The failed Vegas wedding became a trending topic overnight, painted by tabloids as either romantic chaos or a disaster in disguise. And while the couple laughed it off publicly, insiders suggested it was only the beginning of much bigger challenges ahead. Because as charming as that hiccup seemed, it foreshadowed a story filled with rumors, drama, and cracks that no Instagram filter could hide. If the Vegas mishap was the first crack in the glass, the second came from something far more personal, the ghosts of Travis's past. Almost as soon as the headlines about their wedding attempt died down, whispers began circulating. Online, old rumors resurfaced. Ones that tied Travis not just to Hollywood flings, but to someone uncomfortably close to Kourtney, her sister, Kim Kardashian. The idea that Travis might have had a history with Kim sent shockwaves through the fan base. Some dismissed it as recycled gossip. Others clung to it as proof that the family dynamic was far more complicated than anyone wanted to admit. Travis denied it outright, insisting nothing inappropriate had ever happened. But denial doesn't erase suspicion, and suspicion has a way of poisoning even the strongest bond. For Kourtney, loyalty has always been a defining trait. Friends say the whispers took a toll on her, that even the hint of betrayal from inside her family circle was enough to shake her confidence. And it wasn't just the Kim rumors. Fans dug deeper and unearthed reminders of Travis's rocky, romantic history, allegations of infidelity from past partners, accusations that painted him as someone who struggled with commitment when things got serious. It didn't matter how many times he tried to bury that reputation. The internet has a long memory, and suddenly it all came flooding back. For Kourtney, standing next to a man haunted by stories of cheating and family drama wasn't just stressful, it was humiliating. And while the couple put on a united front, the tension was already spilling into their private lives. Because once the world starts questioning the foundation of your relationship, it's only a matter of time before you start questioning it yourself. But rumors were only half the story. Online, their love looked picture perfect, and that's where the contrast became impossible to ignore. Scroll through their Instagram feeds, and you'd think Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker were the ultimate power couple. Sparkling beach engagements with candles lining the sand, red carpet kisses that looked straight out of a Hollywood romance, and constant PDA that screamed soulmates. But behind the filters and perfectly framed shots, the reality wasn't nearly as flawless. Close friends of the couple began to notice the passion that once set their relationship on fire was cooling down. What looked like non-stop affection online masked growing moments of distance and frustration in private. Kourtney herself admitted in interviews that the intensity wasn't the same, hinting that the constant effort to keep up appearances was taking its toll. And while Travis seemed more than comfortable with the spotlight, insiders say Kourtney struggled. She adapted to his world in ways that raised eyebrows, shifting her style, changing her diet, even altering her daily habits to fit his preferences. At first, it looked like compromise, but as time went on, people close to her started asking, was she giving up too much of herself just to make it work? For a woman who once preached independence and self-expression, the change felt jarring. Fans began debating it online. Was this the evolution of love or the erosion of identity? No one could deny the chemistry they once had, but the cracks were showing. And the more their Instagram love story glittered, the more people wondered what they were hiding behind the lens. And those doubts only grew stronger when Kourtney's entire image, from her wardrobe to her attitude, began shifting in a way that looked less like self-growth and more like a complete transformation. For years, Kourtney Kardashian was known as the calm, grounded sister. She had her own rhythm, a laid-back approach to life, a clear sense of independence, and a style that was unmistakably hers. But after she started dating Travis Barker, fans noticed something different. The change began subtly. Darker outfits, a grittier edge, flashes of punk rock influence that mirrored Travis's world. At first, it looked like growth. Two people blending their identities as couples often do. But soon it became impossible to ignore just how much of Kourtney's image was being reshaped. Her friends noticed she wasn't just experimenting with new looks or hobbies. She was adopting Travis's lifestyle wholesale, from his favorite meals to his music-driven wardrobe, from tattoos to dietary changes. It was as if she was slowly dissolving into his universe. A close friend even revealed, she's trying so hard to fit into his world, sometimes it feels like she's losing her own. Critics didn't hold back. Commentators online began asking whether this was genuine self-expression, or if Kourtney was bending herself just to keep Travis interested. For someone who had once proudly defended her individuality, even clashing with her sisters about it on national television, the shift raised serious questions. Her inner circle reportedly grew concerned. Was she compromising or completely surrendering? Was this the natural evolution of love or a dangerous pattern of self-sacrifice? And while fans debated, one thing was clear. The Kourtney who once stood out for being different was now blending in with someone else's world. But the transformation wasn't just about style or lifestyle. It spilled into family dynamics. And that's where things got even messier. Because when the past involves not just your partner, but your sister, the cracks don't stay private for long. The Kardashian-Jenner clan has always lived with tension simmering just beneath the surface. Arguments about business, spotlight, and boundaries have fueled countless episodes of their reality empire. But Travis Barker's history added a new explosive ingredient into that mix, and it struck right at the heart of Kourtney's relationship with her sister Kim. The rumors about Travis and Kim weren't new, but once Kourtney got serious with him, they hit harder than ever. Suddenly, every joke, every awkward glance, every sisterly jab seemed to carry more weight. And when Kourtney stepped out on Halloween dressed in Kim's infamous floral Met Gala gown, the one the internet mocked back in 2013, fans couldn't decide if it was playful shade or a thinly veiled shot fired. To the public, it might have looked like harmless fun. But insiders whispered that it reflected something deeper, years of unspoken tension amplified by Travis's past.
Kim and Kourtney's relationship had always been fragile, swinging between loyalty and rivalry. Now, that balance was cracking. Behind closed doors, family arguments reportedly grew heated. Kim's pragmatic, business-first mindset clashed with Kourtney's emotional, protective nature. Whispers of loyalty and boundaries floated around the dinner table, dividing not just the sisters but the entire family. For fans, the fallout was like gasoline on a fire. Team Kim versus Team Kourtney debates exploded online, with Travis sitting at the uncomfortable center of it all. The very man who was supposed to bring happiness into Kourtney's life had instead opened old wounds that might never fully heal. And yet the drama wasn't confined to Beverly Hills living rooms. It followed the couple on the road, where even thousands of cheering fans couldn't drown out the tension growing between them. For most couples,
Distance can strain a relationship, but for Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, even being together on the road created problems they couldn't ignore. When Travis embarked on a global tour with Blink-182, Kourtney decided to join him, hoping to close the emotional gap that had started to grow between them. She brought her children along, turning the trip into a blended family vacation. On the surface, it looked like the perfect solution. Love, music, and family bonding all rolled into one. But insiders say the reality was far from picture perfect. Witnesses noticed visible tension between the couple throughout the trip. While Kourtney appeared thrilled to be at Travis's side, Travis seemed distracted. His focus split between performing for thousands of fans and maintaining his relationship. Under constant scrutiny, the move that raised the most eyebrows? Despite living directly across the street from one another back in California, the couple continued to keep separate homes. For fans, this decision sparked endless speculation. Was it simply a practical choice, or a sign they couldn't fully merge their lives? Kourtney, juggling the role of mother, partner, and public figure, reportedly began to feel isolated. Friends described her as exhausted, stretched thin by the constant effort to make things work. And the more she tried to hold everything together, the more obvious it became that her sacrifices weren't being equally matched. For Travis, music had always been his sanctuary, but for Kourtney, standing in the shadow of a rock tour meant sacrificing stability for herself and for her children. Instead of healing their rift, the constant travel only magnified it. The cracks were no longer subtle. They were becoming harder to hide. And if touring exposed the strain, trying to blend their two families into one only added another layer of pressure that no amount of glamour could disguise. Blending families is never easy, even for everyday couples. But when you're Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, living under constant paparazzi flashes and public judgment, every parenting choice becomes a headline. On the surface, their kids seem to get along well. Family dinners, group vacations, and social media posts painted a picture of harmony. But insiders suggested the reality was much more complicated. The couple's decision to keep separate homes, despite literally living across the street from one another, raised questions about how blended their families really were. One detail that sparked particular controversy: Kourtney's decision to continue co-sleeping with her daughter Penelope instead of spending nights at Travis's. She explained it as a way to provide her daughter comfort and stability during a time of change. But to fans, it read as a sign of deeper division, a refusal, or perhaps an inability to fully merge their households. Kourtney tried to reassure the public in interviews, insisting that family dinners on Sundays were their anchor, the tradition that kept everyone grounded despite the chaos. But critics pointed out that a weekly meal couldn't erase the bigger picture. Two families that weren't truly living as one. For the kids, bouncing between households and lifestyles became the new normal. They were adapting, yes, but at what cost? Some fans praised Kourtney and Travis for prioritizing their children's comfort over rushing into a fully combined home. Others argued it was just another sign that the relationship lacked the foundation needed to last long-term. Every choice, from where the kids slept, to how often they ate together, to which house felt more like home, became another detail for tabloids to twist and followers to debate. And while Kourtney and Travis insisted they were doing what was best for their families, the constant adjustments seemed to wear them down. Because the truth is, blending families isn't just about logistics. It's about trust, compromise, and shared vision. And in their case, the cracks were showing on all three fronts. But even as their children tried to adjust, the court of public opinion had already made up its mind, and it was brutally divided. No celebrity relationship lives in a vacuum, and for Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, public opinion has always been split right down the middle. On one side, fans hailed them as a fairy tale couple. They admired the grand gestures, the beachside proposals, the extravagant PDA, the unapologetic way they flaunted their love. For these supporters, Kourtney and Travis were proof that passion could survive fame, money, and constant attention. But for every fan cheering them on, there was another rolling their eyes. Critics saw the over-the-top displays of affection as performative, even desperate. It feels staged, some said, dismissing the romance as a publicity stunt dressed up as true love. Then came the darker rumors, whispers that Travis had controlling tendencies behind closed doors. Friends of Kourtney worried aloud that she was exhausting herself trying to meet his expectations, bending her lifestyle, her habits, even her identity, just to keep him satisfied. One source claimed she's doing everything she can to keep Travis interested, but it's draining her. At the same time, defenders pushed back, pointing to the couple's resilience. Despite all the rumors, they stayed together, faced public scrutiny, and kept moving forward. For some, that was proof enough that their connection was real, no matter how messy it looked from the outside. This polarization became part of their brand. Every red carpet kiss sparked both swoons and mockery. Every family drama fueled debates across social media. They weren't just a couple, they were a conversation starter, a flashpoint where fans projected their own ideas about love, loyalty, and compromise. And that constant tug of war in the court of public opinion left one question hanging in the air. Were Kourtney and Travis writing a story of endurance, or simply delaying an inevitable collapse? Because from Vegas mishaps to family battles, one truth had become impossible to deny. Their love story was anything but ordinary. From a failed Vegas wedding to whispers of betrayal, from shifting identities to family feuds, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker's love story has never been as flawless as the Instagram photos suggest. Behind the filters and the red carpet kisses lies a relationship tested by loyalty, history, and the relentless pressure of living under the world's microscope. Their whirlwind romance captured fans with its raw passion, but the cracks tell a different story, one of compromises, sacrifices, and unresolved wounds. Are they the couple who will prove love can survive anything? Or are they simply holding together until the weight of fame, family, and expectation pulls them apart? The truth is, in Hollywood, love is never just love. It's a performance, a survival act, and sometimes a battle to keep your identity intact while the spotlight burns hotter than ever. So what do you think? Are Kourtney and Travis destined to beat the odds? Or are we watching the slow unraveling of one of pop culture's most talked about romances? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more stories from behind the curtain of celebrity life, and hit the bell so you never miss the next chapter. Because if this saga proves anything, it's that the most glamorous couples often hide the most dramatic truths.